Greetings builders, Daniel here, and today I'm gonna show you 3 builds that are among the most played on Tribe the Ancestor so far. As always, you can find links for POBs and complete guides of all those meta builds in the video description. Now, let's get to it! Let's start this video with a super tanky build that is being played by over 3% of players, the Bone Shatter Juggernaut with the Marauder class. This build is perfect for the melee enthusiasts out there. Bone Shatter hits enemies so hard that it hurts your own character, accumulating trauma stacks. For each trauma you're going to deal and take more damage. That's why it's important to gather both attack speed and armor to stack many traumas and sustain their damage. To list the pros of this build, I would start with its survivability. Even though you deal damage to yourself, this build has so much armor that you won't feel a thing. Now, because of that, you might think that this build had to sacrifice speed or boss damage, but no, it's still super fast and can kill guardians in just a few seconds. Now, to list the cons, the first thing that comes to mind is that you need to keep an eye on your accuracy. This is because the Keystone precise technique that grants 40% more damage if your accuracy is bigger than your life. As for budget, this build is cheap. You can get it destroying early in-game maps with only around 60 chaos. To comfortable advance to yellow maps, I recommend investing around 120 chaos, and for easily completing your atlas, I recommend investing around 4 divines. Don't forget that on PoEbuilds.net you can find a list with all the equipment that you need to buy for this build, with direct links for examples being sold by other players. For clear speed, I'll give it 9 out of 10. Bone Shatter also creates a big pulse of damage when stunning enemies. That means that a single blow can kill an entire pack of monsters. Other than that, you stack a lot of attack speed that causes your leaps land to almost teleport you through the map. The boss damage is also great and deserves 9 out of 10. Using Berserk on bosses causes you to accumulate a lot of trauma stacks and deal huge amounts of damage. For the survivability, this build is surely a 10 out of 10. And I would even like to say 20 out of 10 if I could. This build achieves almost 200,000 armor and over 83% of all elemental resistance. All of that combined with the Juggernaut Ascendancy grants this character over 300,000 effective HP. Yes, it's crazy. Next, we have this awesome starter build that is perfect for beginners, and maybe that's why so many players are using it, the Explosive Aero Champion with the Duelist class. This build uses the Explosive Aero skill on ballistas to deliver huge ignites that proliferate on your enemies. To list the pros, I would start with how easy this build is to put together. You only need one mandatory unique item and not many other specifically rare items. This one is perfect for starting a new league. This build is also very safe to play because with a totem play style, you just need to wait behind while they turn your enemies into ash. Now, to list the cons, I would start saying that this build uses fire damage over time. This means that your boss damage will need a lot of investment to be amazing. But don't worry too much about it. You can easily kill map bosses with a low budget. This build is only not recommended for Uber boss farming. As for budget, you can get it destroying early in-game maps with only around 55 chaos. To comfortably advance to yellow maps, you need to invest around 120 chaos, and for easily completing your atlas, I recommend investing around 4 divines, but you can totally do it with less. You only need one mandatory unique item for this build, the Diadian Dawn Belt, which causes your ignites to deal damage a lot faster. This is great for killing bosses. For clear speed, this build gets 8 out of 10. I took 2 points out because of this delay that Explosive Aero has before exploding and proliferating your ignites. This might feel a little bit clunky, but as you can see, the clear speed is great to farm red maps. The boss damage also gets 8 out of 10. As mentioned before, fire damage over time builds need to invest many divine orbs to have a big single target damage, but this one, even on a low budget, will be able to farm red map bosses without any issue. For this survivability, I'll give it 10 out of 10. This is because we're talking about a totem build where you just need to summon them and wait behind while they destroy and tank everything for you. You just need to mind your position. And above all of that, this build also counts with high armor, evasion and spell suppression. Finally, we have this great starter build that came back as one of the most popular, the Poisonous Concoction Pathfinder with the Ranger class. Poisonous Concoction uses no weapons, instead it uses your life flask to inflict massive poisons on your enemies. To list the pros of this build, I would start with how simple it is to level up. It gets really strong fast and safe with low investment, making it a perfect build for beginners. Now, to list the cons, I would point that even though this is a cheap build, it can get expensive to activate all the auras. This is because you need the unique helmet, the Devouring Diadem, to do so. But don't worry, this is not mandatory at all. As for budget, you can get it destroying early endgame maps with only around 85 chaos. To comfortably advance to yellow maps, you need to invest around 120 chaos, and for easily completing your Atlas, I recommend investing around 4 divines, but you can totally do it with less. For clear speed, I'll give this build 9 out of 10. You're fast and throw many flasks that poison enemies and cause nearby ones to also get poisoned. It's a great clear speed and very satisfying to watch. The boss damage is also great and deserves 9 out of 10. The projectiles can shotgun bosses for a lot of poison damage. For the survivability, I'll give it 9 out of 10. This build comes with many defensive layers such as high armor, high evasion, spell suppression, and 50% chance to block attacks and spells. All of that grants this build almost 100,000 effective HP. And that's it for today, guys. Are you playing any of those meta builds? Please don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments and give a thumbs up to support the channel. I wish you all an amazing day, and don't forget to keep building!